Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope y'all have had a great Friday. Hope y'all have had a great work week so far as we get into the weekend. And the obvious discussion tonight in tonight's video will be Hurricane Ida, which is a 80-mile-per-hour hurricane. By the 8 p.m. update, that was per the latest 5 p.m. update. But by the 8 p.m. update here in about 10 minutes, it may get upgraded to an 85 or 90-mile-per-hour Category 1 hurricane. I don't have great news at all. In fact, I have worse news. The National Hurricane Center now has this forecast to be a Category 4, 140-mile-per-hour storm that actually might get bumped up. All guidance points to a major hurricane affecting areas like New Orleans and just west. And this could be really a crippling and life-threatening event. Just found out some news via social media that Mayor Cantrell out of New Orleans basically said that, hey, we can't evacuate the city. We can't do mass lane reversals, basically because I think there's a 3-day threshold, and it's too short notice. And in her interview or press conference or whatever, it basically said things are looking a lot worse and a lot different than they were 6 hours ago. I would venture to say that is not true, but then again, not everybody is in touch with the weather world as much as others. So I feel like we've known for about at least 2 days that this is going to be a landfalling hurricane in Louisiana. It's wiggled back and forth, but it's unfortunate because I think that inevitably that will probably promote a larger factor in people losing their lives and lives being drastically changed forever. So first off, I want to start this video by I just want to pray for everybody in Louisiana, in New Orleans. I swear I hope it's not any sort of Katrina redo. I hate even mentioning that. So hopefully the levees hold, and we just pray that everything ends up, I don't know, the best case scenario ends up happening. That's all we can sit here and pray. So all my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in there. You know, a lot of people on social media a lot of people say I have a sick feeling about this. I have a bad feeling about this. Well, I legitimately do not have a great feeling about this at all. I'm a little bit uneasy about it, and it's really unfortunate. So let's break down what we know. We break down the latest details on this, and if you guys have not subscribed, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. I try to do updates at least 1 or 2 times a day, and I will continue to do so until I can't anymore. So thank y'all for the amazing support over the last few days. I picked up a lot of subscribers and a lot of growth, and I just want to thank y'all for that. But let's focus on what's important here, and that is what is a rapidly intensifying hurricane. This is Ida right here. I know I've been talking like crazy over the last 3 minutes, but the center of Ida is actually making landfall over western Cuba right now. We'll continue to move northwest generally and get into the Gulf of Mexico. Well, it will really rapidly intensify. We'll talk about some factors on why, but really we pretty much know what it's going to do. We know it's going to rapidly intensify in the Gulf of Mexico. So this is the latest radar actually out of the western areas of Cuba. You look at the time, going through it very fast. It already has a distinct center, almost an eye feature, as of around 7 p.m. a little bit earlier, so about 45 minutes ago or so at the time I'm making this video. So you can actually legitimately see the center of Ida moving over western areas of Cuba. There is a little bit of mountainous areas, but guys, this is not a wide strip of land at all. So it's going to cross it, and there is so many other factors that are favorable for intense development that this little strip of land, it just ain't going to do nothing to it. It really isn't. So we look forward and we look at that 5 p.m. update. I'll try to update this to see if there's any kind of other update, and there isn't. Right now it's an 80-mile-per-hour storm. It might be an 85, might be a 90-mile-per-hour storm by the time you watch this. If you watch this later in the night, heck, it could be a 100-mile-per-hour storm, Category 2. That's how quickly this is going to intensify. So obviously if you watch this a little bit earlier, a little bit later, just remember this is posted at around 8 p.m. Tonight, Friday night. So this is forecast to now become a major hurricane as early as tomorrow afternoon, maybe even late morning, in this forecast to make landfall, I would say just south or just southwest of New Orleans in the swamp areas. And I'll get a little bit of closer view of that, but check it out here. I love this. This is Zoom Earth, something I found a couple days ago. But you can click this little icon right here. It pops this little graph up, if you will. H4 stands for Category 4 hurricane, 130-mile-per-hour winds as of 2 a.m. I believe that would be Sunday. And then you would look at as of 2 p.m. Sunday, it's a Category 4, but 140-mile-per-hour winds. In order for something to get upgraded to a Category 5, you need 157 or higher. So this does have the potential to get there. Notice a lot of models like this making landfall around this area. So a lot of them have it coming west of this. So if you're in Lafayette, especially anywhere from Lafayette, even areas just east of Lafayette, to east into New Orleans. The reason it's such a big deal in New Orleans is because regardless, the center may not go right over New Orleans. The problem is you're on the dirty side of the storm, meaning you're on the right side of the storm. You're going to get the most intense winds, the most intense rains, and by far the worst storm surge. And I'll show you all that in just a second here as we're looking forward. It has been upgraded to a 10 to 15 foot storm surge from the mouth of the Mississippi River all the way to Morgan City, Louisiana. Lake Pontchartrain here. I'm surprised I got that word right. In New Orleans, right in here in Baton Rouge, over here. All these tons of swamp areas and lakes and ponds are going to overflow in this entire area right here. This is bad because what happens is a ton of rain falls up here. It tries to flow down all these rivers and creeks, and then this is going to be met with storm surge. This is going to cause huge issues. There's levees all right through here, and the levees are built to withstand, I believe, somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it's built to withstand something like a 100-year flood, or I believe Category 3 conditions. Category 3. Somebody correct me in the comments for real. I would love to know. I knew earlier, but I'm totally brain farting it now. But this is the probability of hurricane force winds, and this is between basically now and 2 p.m. Wednesday. This will continue to increase dramatically, but this little orange area, obviously getting into areas just south of Lafayette, 50 to 70% chance of hurricane force winds. This is going to increase, so it's almost pointless to look at this point. But look at the latest GFS, and this is basically the latest one from the 18Z, the one that came out probably about an hour ago. We can look at a closer view now, and you see this number right here. Hopefully you can see it pretty clear on your screen. That is the millibar low of the storm. So the lower that goes, the stronger the storm. This gets to the point where it's sub 960. That would probably put it in a Category 3, low in Category 4 hurricane. But this is going to continue to adjust, especially tomorrow. I can't stress enough, between now and Sunday, overnight tomorrow into Sunday morning, this storm is going to be rapidly intensifying, and models are going to continue to adjust. And I really think this has a chance to go sub 950 in a Category 4 hurricane. But you notice it makes landfall. Lafayette's right in here. It makes landfall somewhere between Lafayette. And I'm just going to use that town as a kind of a main town in New Orleans. But makes landfall between both of these. Obviously points south and moves in, kind of switches directions, moves north, and then begins to curl and move more northeast, and the remnants of it slams Mississippi. So you guys in Mississippi are going to get hit hard too. Look at the latest Euro. Now there is an 18Z Euro that probably comes out probably pretty soon. But we'll look at the one from 12Z, and it does something weird here, which I don't know if I agree. It makes it a very strong pushing Category 5 hurricane at a 939 millibar low as you get into Sunday afternoon. What it does is it actually weakens the storm and then re-strengthens it as you're getting into Sunday, into overnight Sunday into Monday. Then makes landfall around Monday morning. You look at the GFS, it has it making landfall, I would say more so Sunday afternoon. That is a huge difference at this time frame between two of the most well-known models in the weather world. That is about an 18-hour difference. It really is. I mean, that's a big deal. So let's take a look at what our hurricane model is saying, which is our HWRF model as far as timing and strength. So we're going forward, where it's moving northwest. It's getting to the Gulf of Mexico. And watch this number drop like a rock as you go every 3 hours. This is every 3-hour panels here. It begins to deepen, gets below 950, and it almost makes it below a 930 storm. Millibar storm. That is definitely a Category 5, and it has it making landfall in the middle of the night Sunday into Monday. So it's kind of between the GFS and the Euro, just south of Lafayette, right here in the swamp areas. And it's really like in this area right here. I don't know, I can't think of any specific towns in this area right off the dot here, but if you look in here in New Orleans, you're getting slammed by these bands. What's happening early on is this is shoving intense storm surge through all these rivers, swamps, ponds, whatever you may have here. And it's rotating like this, so it's pushing all this storm surge in this area right here. So I know you're thinking, well, this isn't going to hit New Orleans if it's over here. You understand what I'm saying, that the storm surge is getting pushed this way. So yes, the center of the storm might not hit New Orleans, but you're going to get drastically affected. If you technically look at this, Hurricane Katrina didn't technically go right over New Orleans either. It actually just went just east of it, but devastated the city with what we all remember as devastating flooding. So this is a well-defined looking hurricane. This would be probably a high-end Category 4, low-end Category 5 hurricane, slamming the central coast of Louisiana. This would be devastating. You look at the wind speeds, this is in knots, but just believe me when I say that this is basically winds between 130 to 150 miles per hour, about 120, 140, 50 miles per hour, moving into the central coast of Louisiana, Lafayette, located right in here. So you guys, even though you are inland, it's not like this thing's just going to weaken into a tropical storm by the time it gets to y'all. I'm looking at towns like Lafayette and places like that for areas to get really directly impacted by an eye wall. You know, it was kind of like Lake Charles. It was way over here. Hurricane Laura moved into here. Lake Charles was right into here, but it devastated Lake Charles, even though it was, I don't know, what is Lake Charles? What, 20 to 30 miles off the coastline, maybe 15? Because, I mean, this storm just came in and went due north and just devastated the town of Lake Charles, even though it's not legitimately on the coast. That doesn't really matter in these areas. So you look at the latest model intensity guidance. The sad thing is nearly all guidance. In fact, I think all of them do, except this little model right here, has it making it into a major hurricane, at least a Category 3 or higher. It's a big deal, guys, really big deal. You look at the latest European ensembles, like I said, see this main black line right here? That is the ensemble mean, and it's all like in that area I keep talking about right here, just south of Lafayette, or just southeast of Lafayette. It's really like in that central coastline. Why it's putting all that, the dirty side, the nastiest weather, the nastiest storm surge, right where the center is and just to the east. So you look at the GEFS ensembles, which I know I've been showing the ones off Tropical Tidbit a lot, but same thing. It might be a tick east, but at the same time, it's just the central coastal areas of Louisiana looks to be under gun. So I'll talk to you briefly, because we know at this point what is driving the rapid intensification of Ida, and it's a big part of it is one. There's a couple things. Well, there's really just two things. One is the fact that you have insane sea surface temperatures. So you basically got sea surface temperatures in the upper 80s. When I was in Mexico Beach, Florida, which is right around here if you don't know, for Tropical Storm Fred, I went about ankle deep in the water before it got real bad, and it legitimately felt like a bathtub. I mean, it really did. It's insane how it was some of the warmest ocean waters I've ever felt in my life. And that acts as fuel to these hurricanes. And there's actually a warmer section of water right into here, where basically there's a lot more warmer water deeper down. So a little bit further down, there's just as warm water as at the surface. And basically Ida is going to go right over this area, and then potentially get into this area where sea surface temperatures are pushing 90 degrees. Another thing that is promoting such a favorable environment here is what you call an anticyclonic flow. It's basically extremely favorable upper level winds that are basically allowing this to ventilate. Creates its own outflow. So basically it protects itself from any shear, any dry air, and then the storm is kind of in between it all, or in the middle of it all, and creating its own environment. Now, we were watching this system in the Eastern Pacific that potentially had the chance to shoot an outflow from it and affect basically the environment of the storm. That does not look like it's going to happen at this point. So you see this flow around it basically moving the opposite direction as Ida, which moves all hurricanes in the northern hemisphere move in this direction right here. This flow is moving in this direction. It's basically helping to ventilate the storm. Acts as the exhaust of the storm, and basically promotes major convective updrafts and basically strengthening in this storm. And what it also does is it knocks out any dry air So basically, this storm is able to feed off as much moisture as it wants. So you see the browns and everything, that's more drier air. But you notice around the storm, it's creating its own environment, its own moist environment, and it's just feeding off that energy. So there is nothing, guys. I'm telling you, I don't think there's, in my personal opinion, there is nothing stopping this from rapidly intensifying. This is what's getting everybody so concerned. That's why there's such high confidence in the National Hurricane Center. It's pretty much straightforward from here on out, guys. This is going to rapidly intensify, and this is going to look like a totally different hurricane even when we wake up in the morning. So, a grim situation, an unfortunate situation, but unfortunately, this is just the way weather works. So, we'll continue to keep y'all updated. I'll have you an update in the morning, and that's all I got, guys. So stay safe out there. If you're anywhere in Louisiana, Mississippi, I'm praying for you guys. I really am, and I appreciate all y'all tuning in, and that's all I got.